Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a good video for you today. It's a video on the Alabama case of a young man, 25 years old, it's all over the internet. I wouldn't say he's just about dying. I thought I would do the video because when I watched the video of you're gonna see, and I'll put a link in this video. It disturbed me because the lies I heard right there, or the inconsistencies, or what they say is not true. I'm gonna go over that. Before I get started, please check me out on YouTube member programs, Patreon, Discord. Check my book out, Gangster Redemption. Great stuff in there. And also, ladies and gentlemen, please check out the cigar, the crookeddiamondcigar.com. crookeddiamondcigar.com. They are selling and they are going good. Well, I'm gonna get into this video because it's kind of disturbing. And when you see the whole video, you're gonna really say, what? Is this really happening in our prison systems? Sadly, it is. That is why I often tell the people, listen, you don't have to go to another country to look at a bad prison system. You don't have to go to another country to look at inhumane conditions. Treating people humanely is not something the United States does very well with its prisoners. Now, there's an old saying, you can judge a country on how it treats its elderly, how it treats its infirmed, which is sick, and how it treats its incarcerated. That is how you test a country's compassion, a company's willingness to help people and stuff of that nature. Sadly, the United States fails miserably, probably on all three of those things. I think we've gotten to the size that we're a bureaucracy. Things take too long, and we do know our prison system itself has become nothing but a money-making machine when you have private prisons running these prisons. Now, first, I want to tell you, this case is out of Alabama. Alabama has its share of fucking problems. We all know that, obviously. I don't know if they're just a little bit behind or they just don't care. And that just busts my chops because there's no reason for this to happen. And I'm going to show you. Look at this picture right here. Look at it. That guy right there, look at it. 25 years old. Now, let's put up another picture right here. This is when he's healthy. This is when he's not. Now, listen to the article, and if you read the article and you listen to the video of the TV people, let me tell you what disturbs me. First of all, they're saying that he's refusing medical care.
And it's true, Vaughn is not in good condition. But according to the Corrections Department, it's because he refused treatment. Take a look. The DOC said today that Vaughn was taken to Jackson Hospital and underwent surgery for a bowel obstruction on August 5th. Afterwards, he opted to be discharged against medical advice, meaning he opted to go back.
Well, if you out there think that the inmates have rights to refuse anything, you're wrong. Because let me exactly tell you what happened. I was in the hole, which I was there for 3 years, so you can imagine how many times I saw this. Person goes on a hunger strike. It happens for a number of reasons. They've tried every administrative remedy, nothing goes on. They go on a hunger strike, and when a person goes on a hunger strike, they want to die. That's what a hunger strike is. I'd rather die than go through what I'm going through, is what they're telling you. Think of that. I'd rather die than go what I'm going through. And I've seen it. But let me tell you what happens. I was in a cell, maybe 4, 5, 6 cells down from me. Sure enough, one of the inmates goes on a hunger strike. And you hear them come over, you eating? No, they don't give a fuck at first. They think you're all bullshitting. The guards don't give a shit. But once you refuse these meals, they're supposed to be logging that in. And then they want to know if you're getting any other food some other way. They don't know if you're playing games, and I get all that. Well, if you're on a hunger strike, they take you out of your cell and they weigh you. Once they weigh you, you're still on your hunger strike. They ask you to eat. They send a psychologist down. They're going to do a whole number of things to try to say, hey, what are you doing? Very rarely have I ever seen them give you what you want. It's like being held hostage. And I kind of understand that. But when you get to the point that you are so distraught or so mentally ill that you don't want to eat, you want to die, there's something serious going on. Well, sure enough, when you get to a certain point, they will come in the cell, strap you down, or take you to medical and strap you down and intravenous you, put a needle in your arm to feed you and to put nutrients in you. So they're not, now you're refusing this, obviously, and they won't let that happen. They're not going to let you die on their watch, so to speak. Well, in this case, and you're looking at this young man, what do you hear them say? Oh, he refused to help. Oh, he checked out of the hospital. You can't do that. You are under the state's care, or in my case, under the federal care. You don't have a right to say no, yes, give me that, or don't give me that. If they deem you sick enough to go to a hospital, or they deem you sick enough to get medical care that's needed, you are getting it, whether they got to strap you down or not. You know, when people think people in prison have rights, zero. So don't even tell me, oh, even though you're in prison, you have your human rights. You have zero rights in the United States as far as, like, you know, you have the right to free speech, or you have a right to bear arms, or your right to this. Doesn't happen, period. Don't anybody let a kid you and say you do, because you don't. Number one. Number two, don't think you can dictate to them when and where you get medical care. I was in prison and I needed medical care, and I begged for it. Do you think they gave it to me? They don't give a fuck what Lawton begs for. They don't give a shit what anybody begs for. So I had no say at all of what I was going to get. Now I want you to look at this guy and look at the case. They try to make them out to be the worst of the worst. At the end of this case, at the end of this video, you're going to see, they're going to say what he's held in jail for.
Vaughn is serving a 25-year sentence on several charges out of Baldwin and Mobile counties for robbery and unlawful breaking and entering of a vehicle.
Obviously, I don't know his prior offenses. That means something. But if his prior offenses were a murderer, these articles would be started with former murderer, found innocent, but former murderer, or whatever. Trust me, if Larry Lawton gets arrested, you're not going to hear Larry Lawton's a good guy, Larry Lawton's an honorary police officer, Larry Lawton was recognized on the floor of Congress. You're not going to hear that. You know what you're going to hear? Jewel thief, robbed people, robbed millions, did everything. They're going to make me be out to the worst of the worst of the worst. That's what they're going to do. It's just what they do. They're protecting their own image. And sadly, my death, or this guy's death, or anybody's death, doesn't mean shit to them. And that, to me, is what's sad. You have people running these institutions that they're okay with you shooting a guy out of the tower. I'm sure they're going to come and do an investigation, which is bullshit to begin with, but that is the problem. That's a big problem. And I personally refused, never refused medical, but I refused to believe that they're going to listen to this guy with his medical care. He looks terrible. He looks like he's come from a third world country now. Now, if he's mental and he's doing that, they're going to feed him. Why not? Let the people die just because they want to, they're not smart enough to say they want to live. Those kind of people can get manipulated to think the world's ending. In fact, I watched Paul Tellini mess around with inmates where they gave their worldly possessions away. Yes, to me. They'd give everything they own away because they said the world's ended tonight. Good night. I'll never see you again. And when they get up, you're like, maybe he does that with his mask on. Or he does, and he's just crazy. And that's exactly what's going on. So when I see inmates or I see articles about what's really happening out there, a case like this should never happen. Now, let me give you another thing. If you're the family member, they won't let you come see him. They will not let you come see him, saying he's breaking the rules. We're not going to let him see him. And they will refuse you entry into that prison. Even if you're on a visitor's list, the guest list, don't say they can't do it, please. This country and these prison systems do anything they want. I've heard of judges ordering them to do stuff and them saying, fuck that judge. What are you going to do? You actually try to sue him? First, you burn the place down if you can. And guess what? That don't work because you're going to jail on arson. So you're the person trying to help the system and they don't want to give you the least bit help. That is sad. That just goes to show you how bad our prison system is. We have 2.1 or 2.3 million people locked up. Think of that number. It's crazy. And since that number is not going anywhere, how do we fix it? Well, there's a number of ways of fixing this problem. Obviously, if this man refusing something that IV can take because he's on food strike, so be it. Get the medical system out there. Then the prison system's going to start coming around. They're going to realize national attention does hurt them. This guy don't give a fuck what they do to him. I respect him a lot. But they must have did some bad things to him or he was getting it. Maybe that night or that day. And maybe that's why he ran to another unit that night. So when I look at that, I say, wow, what will people do to get away from a situation or to get certain areas and then kill them all or blow people up or whatever they're gonna do. No way is this guy a piece of shit that should be thrown out. There are a lot of pieces of shit in prison. But when I heard them read their record, breaking and entering, probably assaulting maybe a female guard, a cop or somebody getting arrested, I don't know exact thing. But let me tell you something. This is not as uncommon as you think. That's all I'm gonna say. It is not as uncommon as you think. I don't know what this guy online talks about, like catching a rat and eating the rat, or catching the rat and watching the wolf eat the rat, or the cats eat the rat right down to the bone. And you think, what the fuck? It's the way the cycle of life goes. And there's nothing we can do about it, nothing anybody can do about it. You know, I've lost a lot of weight lately, and people worried. Thank you for that, the people who did worry. And a lot of people said, I don't give a fuck. I kind of am like you, because I don't come out of a gym like, oh, I'm a badass, I'm this or that, and you know, no, doesn't happen. Not me. That's not Larry. And I think that's the problem right now. So I look at that as a way for, what are we doing here, man? Is it that messed up? Is it that messed up? Sometimes I think it is. I always try to find the good in a situation. I really do. I don't know if I can find the good in this situation. I really don't. It just boggles my mind. Will I try? Probably. Will I probably never quit? It's not my style. And all the people who know me, the councilmen and the city lawyers and all the people from the multiple municipalities, the police chiefs who know me. No, I don't say it that easily. I actually put that camera and that stuff on a boat in the river and let it go. Now let's see what happens. Let's see where that experiment goes. It's just like a bite or a battle weight, and that's exactly what happens. So you end up being dead, no matter what was taken from you, owed to you. Doesn't matter. The two guys didn't do that. They were just partying, and then they'll come out with heroin or something like that. But think of that, because I watched the man die of alcohol poisoning. I watched many men die of overdoses. Many. Just the way it is. It doesn't mean we have to like it, which we shouldn't. But think about what I'm saying to you right now. When I was in my cell, I wanted to eat. I needed to eat. It was one of the things that kept me sane. Even if I ate garbage and I had to take spit out of food because I knew the guard put the spit in the food. Think of that. It just drives you nuts, doesn't it? It drives me nuts to think, wow, what am I doing? Is shit that bad? And it is. It is that bad. And for me to be doing this video during the day after watching this video, I felt disturbed. I felt, where am I living? I remember only seeing this in Ethiopia. That's really all I ever saw it. I definitely did not see it here. You know, I just didn't. So, but as far as driving me nuts, it really does. And it's just crazy. But on another note, and I want to mention this, I got a lot of emails on my condition of a video on October 6th. Yeah, I had a rough time. Yes, I had a psychologist. And yes, I'm going to be open about it. Just the way who I am. I don't believe I have an addiction issue, as the counselor was saying. But I'm of the mindset. I've been an open book, and I'm going to stay an open book on this channel. I just have to. It's just not to. What do you think? I want to hear what you think. I want to put that picture up here, and I want you guys to look at that really hard and fast. This guy was a robber. It wasn't a murderer. It wasn't anything. Listen, you might have the mindset that the cops are always right. That's your mindset. That's your belief. Don't hate you for it. With all that said, I want you to pass this video around. I want you to show, and I want you to do something on this guy. I think we need to get well soon card or something. Show people that we care. That's all I want to do. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to close up. And again, thank you for the best wishes about me and my health. Felt good. Thanks, everybody. That's all. I mean, I'm really blown away. But make good choices so you don't have to go there. Please, make good choices. That's what I say at the end of every video. Because it's true. I don't want to see you make bad choices. Make good choices. Got it? Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe. And I will see you Sunday. Have a great day, everybody.